Hello everyone, today I'm watching How a Medieval Bucket Killed 2,000 People, Tales from the Bottle by QXIR. Quixar? Not sure how you say it. I've heard something about a bucket war before, so I've never understood how you could go to war over a bucket, but let's see, maybe he explains it.
Look at this bucket. It's made of oak. It's hundreds of years old. It's currently kept in the bell tower of the Cathedral of Modena in Emilia-Romagna, Italy. And it's been there for hundreds of years.
So the Italians, I'm guessing it was the Italians since it's in Italy, killed each other over a wooden bucket. I mean, I know people were stupid back in the day, even stupider than they are today, but to kill people over a bucket, that's ridiculous.
But it wasn't always there, and its journey to its current destination left a path of destruction that cost thousands of lives. This tale takes us back to Italy in the late Middle Ages, and hey, we've been here before on this show. Remember when they dug up the dead Pope and started arguing with him? Italy was weird back then. Remember when they dug up the dead Pope?
Why the church put a dead Pope on trial? I'm watching that one next.
And started arguing with him? Italy was weird back then. The north of Italy was divided into factions, supporting the rival political claims.
Okay, I get it now. Yeah, so I'm guessing this was during the time period where Italy was just a giant mess. It wasn't really Italy yet. It was just a bunch of different kingdoms, which were broken up into even smaller, provinces, I guess. And they all just kept fighting each other. Yeah, so this is just going to be a mess.
The Holy Roman Emperor and the Pope.
Yeah, the Holy Roman Empire.
The city-state of Bologna supported the Pope, and rival city-state Modena supported the Emperor. It's a bit like football hooliganism. These two states were already clashing over border territories and supporting different teams, just made it worse. In 1325, the border...
Yeah, when you think about it, that really is just how football is. Because, I mean, I've seen stories where fans or even players died because of football. It's really sad, honestly, that people go to those types of extremes because of a sport. Really
border
sad.
Clashes had gotten pretty intense. You'd get a load of lads together, go across the border and just fucking wreck the place, which is still the modus operandi of everybody from my town and everybody from the town beside us. Even after
Sounds
700
like a fun
years,
time.
It's still great fun to be an arsehole. In July, the Bolognese entered Modenese territory and laid waste to the fields by fire and sword. In August, a Bolognese rabble spent 2 whole...
So far this is pretty normal for medieval times. Just go over to a different country and kill people, destroy stuff, burn down their homes. Pretty standard stuff for the time.
Smashing the place up. Sounds like a nice holiday. In September, the Bolognese lost a fort through betrayal, and sometime after, some Modenese soldiers managed to sneak into the center of Bologna and steal a civic bucket filled with loot in the main city well. How did the soldiers sneak into the middle of the city? Why did they have a civic bucket filled with loot in the well? What made the soldiers look down the well? Were they already...
Okay, so yeah, the bucket was filled with loot. So stealing it makes sense. But yeah, like he's saying, why would you look down a well and check the bucket? That just makes no sense. What made you think there could be anything valuable in there? Unless this was like a common tactic to hide loot in places where you wouldn't expect it to be. So maybe this was a common thing back then. Possibly.
Already somehow aware that it was there? Were they just thirsty? Did they just pick up the bucket, see it was filled with gold and go, oh, really wanted some water? The Bolognese were...
Just chucks it back down like, this isn't what I was looking for. I wanted water, not gold.
Humiliated that their treasure bucket had been taken from right under their noses.
Okay, so they weren't actually fighting over just a bucket. They were fighting over the treasure that was in the bucket. Now it makes more sense.
But I mean, like, really? You're surprised that somebody took the bucket filled with gold that you just left out in the open? Like, really? Why was that even there? They demanded that the bucket be returned, which I imagine
They surely
went
could have hidden
something
that
like
way
this.
better.
Hey, give us back in the bucket, eh? A piece of. Fun fact, the loot in the bucket was actually all robbed from Modena during raids. So they had some fucking brass neck to demand they give it back. Bologna declared war and
Give back what I rightfully stole from you in a raid. It's crazy. You go to you go to a different country and you steal gold that they stole from you when they raided your country.
gathered an army of 32,000 men. They began to march on Modena, but the Modenese met them before they left Bolognese territory. The Modenese only had 7,000 men. That's over 4 times fewer men. And somehow they still fucking won. About 2,000 men were killed on both sides, but the Bolognese were routed and ran back to the walls of the city. The Modenese stopped outside the city gate, and before they went home, they took a bucket from a nearby well as a trophy.
No
so now they
fucking
had
way.
2 buckets. And you can't ask for more than that. The wars between supporters of the emperor and supporters of the pope would continue until 1529, when the threats of foreign invasion forced the two sides to make peace. The bucket is still in Modena to this very day.
All of that over a stupid... Well, I mean, actually, no, it wasn't over a bucket. It was over gold. It was over loot, money. So it actually makes a lot more sense when you know the full story. Because fighting over a bucket seems ridiculous, but this explains exactly why it happened, and it makes perfect sense now.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, you can...
Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah. That was actually a really good video. Short, informative, tells the full story, and not just random parts of it which make it seem really ridiculous and just stupid. So yeah, this was really good. Like and subscribe. The link to my Discord is down in the description below, so check that out if you want. And I'll see you in the next video.